I just feel that the human soul, like our soul, our purpose in life is just to shine and to be radically loved. And whenever we find something that helps us to get there, we just feel, that we need to be part of that. We need to hear that. We need to listen to that. We need to feed off of that.
Welcome to Radically Loved Radio. I am your host, Rosie Acosta, yoga teacher and teacher trainer, mindfulness coach, speaker, and creative writer. I am also the founder of radicallylove.com, a website where you can go for more information about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and lifestyle advice. On this podcast, we talk to people within our health and wellness community that are creating content through the ritualistic practice of yoga, meditation, or overall mindful living. We hope to create value in your life so that you can achieve your highest potential and live a radically loved life. To stay in touch with us, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rosie Acosta and on Facebook at Radically Loved Rosie. You can sign up for our newsletter on radicallylove.com to stay up to date on future workshops, retreats, and latest podcasts. Hey listeners, our skin is the human body's largest organ. And if you're anything like me, then you pay very close attention to anything that goes on it. I was so excited when I heard that Sigmatic was coming out with the skincare product line and that it was actually going to be edible, vegan, and cruelty-free. They're introducing their very first mushroom face mask and tonic plus superfood serum. I've been using it now for a month and a half and have noticed such a drastic difference in my skin complexion. This is the first purifying face mask that doubles as an adaptogen tonic and a serum that's also a wellness supplement. So now, treat your skin to the everyday magic of vegan and cruelty-free edible skincare with no fillers, plastics, or chemicals. For more information, go to Sigmatic.com, and if you're interested in trying the product, don't forget to use our promo code RadicallyLoved. Again, go to Sigmatic.com and type the code RadicallyLoved at checkout so that you can get a special discount on all the Sigmatic products. And now back to our show. Yoga was the tool that helped me connect to my physical body in a positive way, because I feel like we have such a tenuous and sometimes dysfunctional relationship with our body. That yoga for me was something that helped me open a new door to seeing my body in a new light, right?
Absolutely. And when last week I was watching this video and I thought of this interview and I was like, oh my God, I should mention this. It was a video when they were asking like 10 people, different ages, men, women, They were asking just one question: what would you change about your body? And everybody was like, oh, my forehead, my skin color. Oh my God, I'm so short. I would like to have a longer, my teeth are they were all just criticizing. Just, I would like to change this and this and that. And after asking all those people, the rest of the video is the same question, but to kids, to little kids. And the kids were like, what would you change about your body? And they were like, nothing. Why would you change something about your body? And there was like, oh, I would like to have wings. Oh my God, a mermaid tail. And they were and when you're watching the video, it's so touching, because you relate to the people that are wanting to change their bodies. And then you're just watching the kids really feeling that there's nothing to change. And even you see the kid and you as a grown up, you're like, oh, this kid should lose some weight. Or you can judge the kid, but the kid was like, I love my body. And it was when did we lose that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's such a great, oh, I love that so much. I think so everyone, welcome to Radically Loved Radio. It's going to come in an half. So Nicole, welcome Nicole to the radio station.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk about everything we were going to talk about.
Yes.
A lot of love.
Yes. And I really love what you're saying about this, because where did that happen? Can you remember for you number one is, what kind of relationship did you have with your body growing up, and how has it changed? And did yoga play a role in that? I know for me it did, and I'm curious to hear what your answer is.
Yes, well, I think when I was a little girl, I was really active physically. I was playing a lot of sports. I had so much energy and I was so happy with my body because it was like I was using my body just to play many sports and just be all the time active. So, and I remember one moment when I was doing I was swimming, I was doing gymnastics and other sports, that the doctor said to my mom, if she continues doing that, her shoulders are going to be too big. And I was like, what does that mean? Right. And I remember my mom saying, hey, do you want to practice some dancing? Do you want to start dancing? And I didn't understand what was happening. I started dancing and I'm a dancer and I love it. I'm so thankful that my mom changed. I switched sports because dancing is just a way that I communicate, my emotions throughout my whole teenage years.
Yeah.
Sorry, my English. I'm in Paraguay. I've been here for a year and I'm like, kind of like, oh my God.
You got to translate what you're saying.
Yeah. So you're listening to a Paraguayan in an English Paraguayan, accent, weird accent. For me, where was I? What was it? What was?
Oh, you were talking about the dancing and how you're grateful that,
yes.
that your mom put you into dance.
I was so grateful that my mom did that switch, because for me, dancing was a really way of expressing what was happening to me emotionally during my teenage years. So what happened to me really was that as I was growing up, I could eat whatever I wanted, and the food started to come in with my relationship with my body, because I could eat whatever I wanted. My mom was vegetarian. My grandmother wasn't. So at home we had everything. So I just loved food. But as I was growing up, eating everything I wanted wasn't being very helpful for my body. So I started to get into a lot of diets and just get into this fear that my body wouldn't respond to me as I wanted. And I wouldn't be loved if my body changed, because I was being valued because of my body. Guys, I was growing up, I started modeling really young at 14. So I knew that there was something positive that I was getting out of my body being that way. Mm-hmm. And I knew if that changed, the love wouldn't be there anymore, or something like that. And because of that moment when when the doctor or my mom or whoever it was said that my shoulders couldn't grow, and that there was something that could happen to my body, and that there was going to be something wrong with my body being different,
Yeah.
And so bit by bit, just things started to build up in me. And I'm very honest about this part of my life, because for me, I started to have this relationship with my body that at first was just fun and enjoying my body to dance and to enjoy sports. I went from that to starting to feel that my body had to be in a certain way, or I wouldn't be loved and I wouldn't love it. And so exercise for me started to be a place where I have to get my body perfect. Today, abs. Tomorrow, arms. And so on. And so I just started to disconnect from that joy that I had with my body, that my body was serving me for my happiness, to just enjoy my body, enjoy this moment. And it started to be just, my body started to be one more thing that I had to take care of, because otherwise people wouldn't love me, and it had to be in a certain way specifically, otherwise people wouldn't hire me for a job or things like that. And I was a model, but I could see that my friends that weren't models they were having the same problem. And one of my really good friends told me one time, I was 17, and she said to me, Nicole, you love eating. You want to eat everything. You enjoy food, but you are afraid of you're going to gain weight. So why don't you start vomiting? And I was like, excuse me, that's called bulimia. You know that, I know that. What are you talking about? And I remember she just said that to me, and I was like, how dare you to say that? But I stayed with that idea. And I ended up having bulimia for a couple of months. And I realized when I was being bulimic and I was, throwing out all that food that I was bringing, having in my body, and I realized that knowing that I was doing something wrong to myself, I knew it, but I didn't care. I care about approval, I was so afraid of losing that love that was outside, so afraid that I didn't care about hurting myself because nobody was seeing that. And I didn't have a tool to love myself anymore. I didn't know how to reconnect to that tenderness and love that I had towards my body anymore. That got lost in the way, and I didn't know how to recover it. But I remember after a couple of months of being bulimic, and I didn't tell anybody, just my friend that was being bulimic with me too. I remember one time that I just looked myself in the mirror, and I didn't look at my face. I really looked into my eyes, just as if I was in front of myself, standing in front of myself. And I remember just looking into my eyes, and for 1 second, I felt this tenderness, just like this little like softness, sweetness, like, I don't know, the look that I had when I was a little girl. And then it disappeared, But that sparkle of love, of just like unconditional acceptance, just really shocked me, because I knew that if that was there for a second, that could be there for more than a second. And I wanted that. And I quit. And after 3 months, I was 17 years old, and just one day I said, I'm not having bulimia anymore. This is it. And I'm going to find something that's going to make me love my body, love food, and not have this hate and love relationship with these things that are so important in my life. My body, that it's where my soul is, and the food that I need to nourish and take care of myself. And so I think that's where everything started really big, like this search, this thirst for finding something. And yes, literally after 6 months after that, I said to my mom, I just finished high school and I'm not going to university right now. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? And I said to her, I want to go to a different university. I want to go to the University of Emotions. She was like, what is that? And I said to her, I want to know what to do with my emotions. Because I know that I'm afraid, that I'm anxious, that I have all these things. I have sadness, and that's provoking me not being okay with myself. And I know if I can recover good emotions about myself, just, learn how to be happy, learn how to be sweet and soft with my body, if I can know how to do that, I'll be happy, because life is about that. Different experiences, and me choosing to love myself or to hate or fear or happiness, And so I did that. I went to a meditation center for 6 months when I was 18 years old. I was the only person that was 18 years old, of course. People were like, what are you doing here? You're like 18.
I was going to ask you
right?
if there was anybody else your age. Okay, continue. That's funny.
Okay, should I keep talking? Okay.
Yeah, please do. That's hilarious.
Okay, just stop me if you want to ask me, or like, oh, Nicole, you're
just go.
You're just like traveling to another place.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So for me, it was they practice this technique that is called Isha system. And it's a really simple but really profound system that I discovered a few months before going to the meditation center. Of course, I knew something about what I was going to be doing there, And it really, what I liked about this technique was that it really, what it does is just elevates the vibration of your nervous system by releasing all the emotions that are stuck in there. You really go 6 months on to like really develop your emotional intelligence by releasing all the stuck emotions. And you have a technique, you meditate for like 12 hours a day with a technique that they have that's really, really profound. And you're just like, you're meditating, and 30 minutes after you're meditating, you're like, memory comes up, you know where it is. Oh, it's here. I feel sad. And you go and express. You go express the sadness, and then you meditate again, and you feel that place, that empty space where that emotion was stuck. You feel it with a new emotion, with a new vibration, high vibration of the meditation. And so you start to really clean your nervous system. You really start to clean it. You start to see things clearly. And the most beautiful thing is that I realized that when I was removing all those emotions that were stuck in there, bit by bit, I started to see my internal love. The sparkle in my eyes was appearing again. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I could start to see it. And I could feel just this tenderness, peace, just like really soft, nothing exalted. No. It was so natural. And I said, oh my God, this is the nature of, this is how you come to the world. This is it. And so for me, 6 months there was really the best thing I've done in my life. And it was not easy. It's really, it's a lot of confrontation with yourself. You have to be really brave. And I think all of us, and when we decide that we want to love ourselves, we want to be okay with ourselves, it takes courage.
Yeah.
Love and courage, and courage at first. And once you start to love yourself, it's just, that helps us too. But at first it's a lot of courage. And I didn't find yoga yet there,
I was going to ask you too. I'm like, at what point?
Where's yoga?
Yeah, no. Well, but where did you go to the meditation school? Where were you? Where were you living?
It was in Uruguay. I was living in Paraguay, and this meditation system has the first center is in Uruguay, so it's close. Okay. And the other one, it's in Mexico. It's based in South America, in Latin America, because Isha Judd, she's the ambassador of peace. She's the creator of the system. She says that Latin people are really connected with their emotions, and that's the key to happiness. Know how to release the emotions and to have this tool to really start to have different a clean nervous system, and so you can see things clearly.
Yeah,
because emotions are going to happen. Everything is about emotions. You can't judge fear or anger. It's not that you're going to become somebody really spiritual and you're not going to be angry if you are in a car accident. You're going to be angry at the other person. There's nothing wrong with it, and that's the first thing. There's nothing wrong. Just move the energy. Just this is what I do. I'm not crazy. Try it. Just screaming in your hand like, ooh, if that happens, it's just energy wanting to come out of your body, and you're not allowing it. You're like, no, I'm okay. I'm a grown up. I'm a spiritual person or whatever. I'm just not allowed to
people
feel my emotions.
And they push it in.
And your emotions, they have to find a way out. And if they cannot do it energetically, emotionally, they're going to do it physically. They're going to find a way to stay there in your body, because the idea, it's an alarm. It's a constant alarm. And I truly believe that diseases are an alarm of you not listening to you. It's an opportunity to love. I know it's hard to hear that. When you're sick, you don't want to hear that, but you can hear with your heart and know that that is there, not for you to feel victim of it, but for you to love yourself, for you to love that opportunity that your body is screaming at you, and listen. And start to listen. I think that's something that I learned in my path too. And so now I'm going to talk about yoga. So that was in 2009, and 5 years later, after I had this spiritual path happening in my life, but I also was I started modeling again, but from another place, and that was beautiful. I started having TV shows. I was a TV host. I'm still a TV host now, but a different one. And I went to Los Angeles. I went to LA to start study acting and TV hosting. And what happened to me after 2 years that I was there, it was really hard for me to be there, because I was in a little country and then going to a big city, big everything, and another language, another culture. And it was a beautiful path of discovering myself. And because 2 years after I was there, one day I woke up and I couldn't speak. My voice was gone. I was like, so I couldn't talk. And I had nodules in my vocal cords. Yes. And I was like, what's happening to me? Why is my body reacting like this? What am I not listening to? What am I not listening? And it was hard for me because I couldn't work. I couldn't audition. I couldn't take classes. I couldn't do anything. And I had to get a vocal cord surgery and not talk for 2 months, being silent. And I could finally listen to myself, because the mind is always talking. Your heart is talking to you. And it was talking to me that there was a part of me that I was not following my true purpose. I was not listening to myself. And so I booked a plane ticket to Indonesia, and I went to do I'm going to say it again. So I bought a ticket. I can say it. Wait, English, Spanish, go back to English. Okay. Yeah. So I bought a ticket to Bali, and I decided to do the teacher training, the yoga teacher training. I was practicing for like a year already. I was practicing yoga, but just like on and off, on and off, on and off. But when I was in silence for 2 months, I just knew that what I could feel when I was doing yoga, I wasn't feeling when I was taking a acting class, or was auditioning or anything else. I was just feeling when I was meditating or I was doing yoga. And I remember closing my eyes and just feeling just how relieving was for me to go to a yoga class. I could really have a conversation with my body. And that's what I felt when I first went to a yoga class. I was like, this is exercise. I'm sweating. I'm feeling all my muscles. But after the class, I was just like sweet and looking at the world with this like beautiful, look in my eyes. I was just like, wow, this cannot be exercising, because exercising is about pushing. Mm-hmm. It's about, you can do it.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel you can, just push more.
Just push.
You know what I mean?
Push. Yeah.
Just push.
Yeah.
And yoga wasn't about pushing. Like the teacher was like, he was starting the class saying, whenever you feel tired, whenever you feel that you need to stop, just go to a child's pose. And I'm like, what? You're not going to push us the whole way? But what? But it gave me a freedom. It gave me a freedom to listen to my body and to have a conversation. And one day my body wanted, the other day wanted something that was stronger or not. Finally, I started to recover that relationship with my body. And when I was in silence, I was recovering that relationship with my body, with my heart, with my mind. And I decided to become a yoga teacher. And that started there in 2016.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's been, so you've been doing this for 2 years now. And it's, I mean, for me, I'm like, you've been a yogi your entire life, but that this is part of what has connected us, obviously, is being part of the yoga community. And I really love that you're a huge proponent on working on the things that really create unhappiness in our lives at a deeper level, right? Not just like the external stuff. And I love how you talk about this notion of us being able to listen to our heart, right? Our heart, you're very heart-centered. Hello, listeners. As many of you know, I am a yoga teacher, which means I like to wear a lot of stretchy pants and things that are comfy and actually look good and that fit my curves right. And so, when we shop for things that we like to wear out, for me, I like to look for 2 things. Number 1, affordability, and number 2, it has to be of good quality. So I'm not sure about you guys, but when I slip into a comfy pair of yoga pants or a nice top, I want to actually feel like it fits my body, and I don't want it to feel like I'm sausaging myself into something. I know that's a little bit TMI, but it happens sometimes. With that being said, I'm super excited to partner with a company founded by the beautiful Kate Hudson. Fabletics is a fashion-focused activewear brand with the mission to empower women by making a healthy, active lifestyle accessible to everyone because of their exceptional price point. no matter if you're ready to zen out in a yoga class or go to a spin class or take a stroll in the park, Fabletics has you covered and carries gym wear suitable for any type of workout. Fabletics is your one-stop shop for affordability gym wear, and all of their designs are created in-house. Trust me, you seriously can't find these pieces anywhere else. So before I forget, Fabletics is offering all of you an incredible deal, so you don't want to miss the get 2 leggings for $24 at $99 value when you sign up for a VIP. So all you have to do is go to fabletics.com/Rosie, Rosie, to take advantage of this deal now. So that's fabletics.com/Rosie to get 2 leggings for $24 and also free shipping in orders over $49. International shipping is available, and there's absolutely no commitment when you purchase your first order. So go to fabletics.com/Rosie, or you can go to the show notes for this episode and click the link directly. And now back to our show. And so utilizing that belief of being a heart-centered person, and to utilize that to create a better relationship with our bodies and our overall health. What are some things that you find have been helpful for you? And do you still sometimes get that sort of like those feelings of that you did like back when you were younger, like when you were 17 years old, where you feel that tenuous relationship with your body?
When do I feel that just to understand the question. You're asking if sometimes I don't feel that closeness with my body, and what do I do with it when I don't feel it, for example?
Yeah.
Yes. Since I became a yoga teacher, it took me 2 years, and I can say that now in this past 6 or 7 months, I really started to go on a deeper level on loving my body, and that started to get mixed with food. I started to really listening, not just to the exercise. Look who's here. And a little cat.
Another one. Who's this? What's this one's name?
This is Bella.
Bella.
Say hi, Bella.
Hi, Bella. You're adorable. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna have to post a picture.
They're natural yogi.
They are natural yogi. I think that animals really help us become more yogic. Oh my goodness, she's adorable. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this year I decided to study health coaching. So while doing the course, I really had to open up to try different nutrition tendencies and different. 1 week I was vegan, then vegetarian, then and I really started to open up to not just listen to what my body wanted physically to do, but what my body wanted to eat. I wasn't open to that. So I started to develop that too, to really listening to your body. Your body knows what nutrients are not there.
Mm-hmm.
It knows. You just have to give him the option. Give your body the option. And going back to what you were saying, it happens to me sometimes because the mind is always going to the future, to the past, to the future, to the past. I'm 28 years old. My body is not the same as I was when I was 14. So when I look myself in the mirror, my mind goes, oh, that wasn't there before. It's my mind won't change. The mind won't change. But the mind has the power to trigger emotions. Why? Because it's like it has this little thread. Yeah, you say thread?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has this little thread, that it's tied to that emotion. But if you start to feel that emotion, it makes me sad when my mind is telling me that my body doesn't look great, or I'm eating things that aren't good for myself, blah, 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 or I'm not good enough, da, da, da. If I feel that sadness and then I meditate, I start to cut those threads, those emotional threads. And the thought is not going to go away. It's going to float there like a balloon. It's just going to keep floating. So my mind still tells me that I'm not good enough, or my body is not beautiful, or whatever. But because I decided to release all the emotional baggage, this started my heart, it's bigger than my mind. And now I know that my mind is just like triggering, is just like trying to fool me. but it's not
Mm.
true.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I see things that are not perfect in my body, I don't care. Because I remember, right now, I remember the kid saying, I love my body. And you're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, because it
Yeah.
really doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but it's like unconditional love. It's not, and I feel that normally we want to find an exercise that get us the body we want. And
Yeah.
we have to start to feel, we have to realize that the body feels at ease and peace
Yeah.
when it finds its natural weight and form.
Yeah.
We want to push a specific physical appearance,
Yeah.
but the body has its own appearance, and you have to start to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
And I found yoga was the exercise that helped me to just like move my body and allow my body to take the form, its original form, without
Yeah.
pushing anything.
Yeah. How can we begin to cultivate more self-love? Like, what are a couple of things that we can do to cultivate that, especially the people that are listening to this? It's the beginning of a new year. People are wanting to create change. People are wanting to maybe revamp their diet, or they're wanting to just create a better relationship with themselves. What are some things? I mean, you spoke at length this entire time about how they can do that, or maybe the different shifting of perspective that they can utilize to see their body in a different way. But what are some tips that you can share with our audience to begin to cultivate more of that childlike playfulness?
hmm Okay, well, I would like to guide you guys in a little meditation for a couple of minutes if you guys want. What do you think?
I think it's
And
great. I'm excited. Look, did you see me? I've got all prepared. I'm ready. Let's do it.
great. So this technique is part of the Isha system. So it's a really simple technique that you can use whenever your mind is going crazy. Sometimes the mind it's saying beautiful things. Sometimes it's not saying beautiful things. Anyway, you can always use this phrase. Okay, this phrase: eyes open, eyes closed. And we're gonna try with eyes closed right now. So I want you guys to feel really comfortable. Sit down, relax. Don't cross your legs or hands. Arms, just really relax your stomach and start to breathe without effort. And we're going to start to bring all our attention to this moment, to your body, the weight on this, on whatever you're sitting or you're maybe laying down. Just focus on your body, on the clothes you're wearing, how it feels, and the breath. And just allow the air to come in and go out. Relax your forehead. And we're not going to shift our thoughts to any direction. We're just going to let our mind think what it wants. While we think this phrase, praise love for this moment in its perfection. And now we're going to take the attention to our hearts, profoundly in the heart, without pushing, without trying to have any experience. Just here. And again, praise love for this moment in its perfection. We take the attention deeply into our hearts. And now we take the attention to this moment. Thoughts might come, but just silence. Emotions, everything that happens right now, it's perfect. We don't fight. We don't change it. We just allow it. And again, we think, praise love for this moment in its perfection. Going deeply into our hearts. Now we stay in this moment, allowing. And now we go deeply into our hearts. And we think, praise love for this moment in its perfection. And again, we go to our hearts. Softly. And we think, praise love for this moment in its perfection. Breathe. And we stay in this moment, allowing. And slowly, very slowly, start to open our eyes with a very soft gaze. And we think one more time, praise love for this moment in its perfection. We take the attention to our hearts. And we start to take in the outside, the sounds, temperature of the room, what we're seeing. And from that place, we can continue repeating this phrase while we continue with our daily activities. And we just keep that present. Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I can talk at this point. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Wow, what a gift. Wow. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
I hope that all of the listeners can take that and utilize that. It's a practice they can probably do every day, right?
Every day. Normally, what's really practical about this, the Isha system, that's why I love it so much, is that literally when you're talking, I can think this phrase and I can practice all the time. When I'm waking up, when I'm walking, when I'm doing exercise, when I'm doing yoga, when I'm working, when I'm in a stressful situation, I can always place this phrase. It's really, the vibration is really, really high, and it's just really helped me to be in this present moment. And you can practice with the eyes closed whenever you wake up, just for 20 minutes, and at night whenever you're going to sleep. If somebody has trouble sleeping, I promise, if they just try this phrase for a couple of times and they go to sleep, they're going to sleep really, really well. So,
Wow.
and they can also check out, isha.com, and they'll find, the techniques and everything. And they can just write to me on my Instagram or social
Yeah.
media, and I will
Yeah.
just answer back and
Yeah,
just
no,
give them
that's
all the
great. I
info.
love that. I want to give everybody that information. But before we wrap up, I mean, I can talk to you, and not only can I talk to you for hours, but I could probably just listen to you talk at me for hours. Um,
Oh.
so for the people that are listening to this, where can they go for more information before I ask you the final question? You can just tell them now.
About this technique.
About everything, this technique, how to reach out to you.
Okay, yes. So they can find me on my Instagram, Nicole Huber 90. Like Huber, it's like Uber with an H. So it's really, I know. Yeah. Uber with an H, you'll remember.
Yeah.
Nicole Huber 90. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Nicole Huber Vida Zen. I actually have a YouTube channel. Well, it's a TV show. It's a Latin American TV show that it's going to be next year in 5 other Latin American countries. So that's really great. But we have all the information online on YouTube, so you guys can go. It's all in Spanish, so you can actually also learn about some Spanish. We have yoga tutorials. We have recipes, really easy recipes, because if I can make it, you can make it too. If I can make those dishes, you can do them too. So you can find me there. I'm always available. I'm always online. Just so Facebook too, Nicole Huber. You'll see my face, and that's me, of course. And and yeah, I'm there. I'm there, available for everybody, and you guys can share all the. If you guys want to start doing some yoga in Spanish, it's a really good way to start. I really have classes for everybody.
Yes. And you guys, this is like what my entire family is signed up for her YouTube channel, and they follow her. She's amazing. So yeah, please share this with everyone. And if you're listening to this on your device, if you hit the info button, you go to the show notes, all the links that Nicole said will be on there. So you can just go directly to those if you like. And the final question for you that I want to ask, I ask all of my guests, and it's pertaining to this podcast and why I created this space. I created the podcast to have a space for everybody to come together to co-create with this idea and this belief that the universe works for us and not against us, and that we are radically loved by God, source, whatever higher power of your understanding. And so the final 2 questions for you are, how do you feel radically loved, and what do you radically love?
I feel radically loved when by my boyfriend, by my mother, by my cats. But I feel radically loved when I can see all my negative thoughts, and I can just close my eyes and just feel, go in and feel that there's nothing wrong with me. I can connect with that place of peace that I have inside. I feel really loved there, because that's the only love that I can finally, that I'm always going to have, the one that the one that I develop inside.
Yeah.
And what was the second question?
What do you radically love?
I love to give consciousness. I love to talk about consciousness. I can talk all day about all the things we were talking about. I just feel that my heart just wants to explode every time I'm sharing this. I'm listening. I just feel that the human soul, like our soul, our purpose in life is just to shine and to be radically loved. And whenever we find something that helps us to get there, we just feel, that we need to be part of that. We need to hear that. We need to listen to that. We need to feed off of that,
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Makes me so happy. Nicole, thank you so much for everything that you're doing, for, creating such beautiful content, and for following your passion, and for just really owning this space, and for being so wise, and for just being part of this expansive community that's all about inclusivity and creating these different modalities for people of all shapes, sizes, and ethnicities to come together. And obviously we're both Latin, so that's such a huge thing for our Latin community to really bring these practices into their daily rituals and to utilize them to create, a life full of love and happiness and fulfillment. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you for inviting me. For me, it was an honor when I got your email. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm so excited. I love your podcast. I love everything you do. I love all the messages you're giving to people, and it's inspiring me. And I just feel that people just want to love themselves. And I just want to say to people, whatever that means, people are like, how do I start? Just start. You know how to start. You know how to do it. And just listen to that. Give yourself a chance to love yourself, to be the person that you love the most, to be the person that you admire the most. That's the key for me, and I feel for a lot of people. And just that.
You're the best. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show. You're the best. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am so excited to continue to do this. Please share this with your friends. Email us, message us on Instagram at Rosie Acosta or on Twitter at Rosie Acosta. Subscribe on iTunes, write a review. We love doing this, so please help us continue to keep this podcast going. Thanks for listening. Is there something missing in your life? Is there something that you want to do in the world to create an impact but feel that it's overwhelming? So many of us walk through life feeling unsatisfied, overwhelmed, tired, and desperate for a deeper connection, but don't quite know how to achieve the things that we want in life. Join us this spring at the Dunsky Castle in Scotland for 7 days of yoga, meditation, and yoga nidra, all focusing on finding your life's purpose. During our time together, we will learn how and when to take action, how to lead from our heart and not our head, how to break up with our inner critic for good, and dive deep into learning about desire and discipline and how this creates a purposeful life. For more information, go to radicallyloved.com, or you can message us at info@radicallyloved.com, subject Scotland. We'll see you soon.